This video shows the edited version of our QHHT hypnosis session in May 2018 about the telepathic conversation we had with a psychic man from ancient Egypt, Akjes. Enjoy this relaxing session.
I'll tell you what I see now. It wasn't before.
Well, what do you see now?
I see a man in a robe,
Mm-hmm.
and he hears your voice,
Okay.
but he thinks he's hearing things.
What do you mean by that? He's hearing things.
He can, in his time, he can hear your voice like the future.
Okay.
It's going through his head right now, and he doesn't understand why he can hear you because he's looking around and can't see you.
Well, first explain me how this man looks like. You say it's a man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the environment that you're in first?
That's like a dark area with stairs. They're not stairs, but they're rocks. And he's in a robe.
Mm-hmm. What color? Can you explain how that robe looks?
It's like a really rough cotton.
Mm-hmm. Has it a color to it?
It's like beige.
Mm-hmm. And that robe, explain a bit more about the robe. Is it just over his shoulders, or is his head is somehow covered too?
No.
Okay. Is his head visible?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see his head?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What age would you think that man is?
Probably 40.
Okay. Has he something special around him or on him? Is he holding anything?
He has maybe something rolled up.
Rolled up?
And he's looking around. He's listening to your voice, but he doesn't know where it's coming from.
Okay.
It's echoing.
Well, tell him we will soon talk with him. He has to be patient for a little moment.
I think he can. He's somehow psychic or sees the future or something. I don't know.
That's interesting. Okay. So give him our warm regards. Give him a feeling of welcome, of love, that everything is okay.
He's just walking.
Okay.
I feel like he has something by him. It's short, but I don't know what it is.
What do you mean by that? By him?
It's not an animal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's short. It like goes to his knees.
Okay.
And it's following him.
Okay. How do you feel about this man?
He's very he has knowledge, I think, or something about like he is very
good. Do you feel comfortable in his presence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like he's going to his own little room down into the tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Well, follow him, but in a certain distance so he doesn't feel bothered. Is he feeling your presence?
He can hear me.
Okay. Before we try to get more information about him, try to follow him and look in what environment he will be going. You can go forward in time now where he'll be going and where he'll be staying and be ready to talk to us because he's going somewhere to talk with us. Go forward in time now. What is happening? Where is he going?
He's sitting down.
Okay. Sitting down on what?
Looks like it's a rock.
Okay.
But it's a bench.
It's a bench. He's sitting on a bench, rock bench.
Mm-hmm.
Is anything else in his near surrounding?
Cold.
What is cold?
I'm cold.
Mm-hmm. You think you feel cold because the place the man is?
Mm-hmm.
You are?
Mm-hmm. It's cold. It's underground. It's cold.
Okay, you don't have to feel the cold, just observe the cold. Take notice of cold, but you don't have to feel the cold. You feel like in a warm blanket that protects you and you feel good. Okay, take that warm, just observe the cold, don't feel it. Good, very good. So what do you see else beside the bench in his environment he is in now?
He has a glass of wine. It's not a glass, it's like it almost I don't know what it's.
Is it look through?
No, you can't see through it.
Like a cup somehow?
Like made out of wood maybe? I don't know.
Okay.
Hence the bread.
Okay. Is anything else in his surrounding? What? Just have a look around first. Make yourself comfortable with the environment you're in.
That thing that was by him is there. And there's something watching him, but I don't know if he realizes that it's there. And now he hears me say this, so he's kind of looking around. He hears my voice. It's like in his thoughts, he's realizing there's something watching him because I'm talking.
Okay.
But he can't see it.
Okay, I want you to make contact with the man. Tell him that everything is okay. And ask him if he can clearly hear your voice.
He's standing up now.
Ask him if he clearly can hear your voice.
He wants to know who we are.
Okay, well then tell him that we are from a time, maybe in the future of him, and exploring consciousness, and we just came across him.
He wants to know how we know about this.
About what?
What I just told him.
You can tell him, we can talk about that later, but now we first have to make a clear channel. And if he is willing to talk to us, we are loving souls from the future.
He wants to know, how can he know this?
Ask him if he can be visual, if he is good in visual.
He wants to know where I'm seeing it.
Okay. Give him a visual of us too. Give him a picture. And tell him he can feel us through the picture. Give him a picture of us two together. Tell him that you are female and that you are Heidi, working as the channel.
Okay, he says he wants to sit down and he knows what's around him right now because I see it. Okay. He's working with me now on what I see.
Very good.
And he says he's not going to allow it to bother him.
Tell him that we are working together if we want so, to make sure that we are all safe.
He's drinking his wine. He has like something ticking, or maybe it's a dribble of water.
Well,
he's lighting something.
Okay, I'll let you talk.
Looking at it now.
What is it? What is bothering us or wants to bother us? You can just observe and give the information, Heidi. You don't have to be affected by it. You're protected and safe.
He says he knows. He's seen many things, and this is what he tells.
Is time or?
Yeah. He knows of things.
Okay.
And he knows what I'm seeing, but he says he's not going to allow it to affect what he is going to do.
Ask him if he knows how to protect himself.
He says he has no fear.
Very good. Tell him we have no fear as well and we know how to protect ourselves. You don't have to feel the cold, Heidi. I'm going to touch your left shoulder now and will be a lot of loving heat coming into your body. Now, just feel your body heating up. Heat it up and you're comfortable. You only have to observe the cold, you don't have to feel it. Feel it up. Feel the universal love of heat and warmth coming through your whole body.
It's weird that I feel cold because it's really not cold there.
See yourself in a warm blanket of protection light, Heidi. It protects you. And be fearless. It's very important. We are just observing. Nothing is going to happen. Go back into focus to this man. Do you still have contact with him?
He's writing.
Mm-hmm.
He's writing what you're saying.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like...
Ask him if it's okay for him to have this conversation up with us.
Well, he says it's supposed to.
Okay. Ask him if it's okay if we have a question for him and he might have a question for us. We can help each other with information. Ask him if he is from the light and love, from the one source.
Yes.
Ask him with what name we can call him, so we know with whom we are talking. Under what name he wants to be named.
I hear like Ak.
Okay.
Ak something.
Tell him if he can write it down and show you written in Greek letters. Tell him Greek letters. I will write it down for you as soon as you're ready. Feel, see, and hear his name. Use all your senses. Stop forcing. Ask him why it's so hard for you to hear his name.
I can hear the first half.
Mm-hmm. Ask him why it's so difficult to hear his full name. Akj.
Akjes.
Akjes. Akj.
Akjes.
Es. Akjes. Yes, okay.
Akjes.
Ask him if that is right spelled.
I feel like there's more to it, but I don't know what it is. I can just see AKJES.
Okay, we hold. We keep.
Akjes.
We keep that. That's okay.
I don't know.
Well, I want you now to see in your mind the number 1 to 5, because I want you to go even further down, and with every step you go down, you focus more in on the environment and this man. 1. Deeper down, more focus. 2. Even more focus, you start to feel being there. 3. You are there in this environment. You can feel, hear, and see. 4. It's almost us. You're only there. 5. Be there and imagine having a body there. Imagine having a body. And let him see you. Tell me when he recognizes you. Have a nice distance to him so he doesn't feel threatened. What is going on?
Well, on what I see.
Whatever, yeah.
I see, I don't know if it's a tiger. No. It's not a lion, it's a tiger. It's laying in the corner. It's like really long and skinny.
Okay.
I don't know why it's there.
Okay. Do you feel okay around him?
The tiger?
Mm.
Yeah, it's like a pet.
Okay. Well, focus on the man, Akjes. Call him by his name.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him if he can hear you.
Yes.
Ask him if he can hear you and if he can hear me as well, or how is he going to hear us?
You know, it's weird because there's, I don't even know if I'm there or if I'm watching this, but I don't know if that's me or I'm just watching it.
Well, what do you observe? Tell me just what you
I see a woman and she looks like me.
Okay. She's there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how's she?
It's not me though.
Well, how's she clothed? Don't assume, just observe. Just observe, no assumptions. How she looks like.
She looks like me.
How's she clothed?
She has these something around her head, like a string of gold or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And the clothes?
The clothes are more just almost like it's like, I don't know, maybe something they wear at night.
Well, like in that time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, project a protection around this woman. See a protection of light around this woman. And when you have done that, I'm counting to 3 and will tap your forehead, you become this woman. 1, 2, take a deep breath in, and 3. Look out of her eyes now. Feel her. Feel you. Can you see the man?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is he doing now?
He's listening to you.
Okay, ask him what he wants to know. We'll offer him a gift of knowledge if we can do that for him.
Well, he says he knew this was going to. It's like an awakening is coming, he said.
Mm-hmm.
He's been waiting. And now I'm getting a deja vu.
And that is what?
Me.
Talk about it.
Like I've been here before.
Ask this man, ask Akjes if he wants to know something about that situation or our time that could help him.
He says there's so much that he would like to know.
Mm-hmm. What would be the first thing he wants to know?
What's it like there now?
We can offer him a number, but first he has to give us some references. How can we understand what time frame in years it is for him? What time or what year it is for him now? Well, ask him to give you pictures about his time, how the people are clothed or the transport they have. Or
He hears somebody walking. Just hold on, he has to put his stuff away for a minute. There's a couple men coming in. They need him for something. I feel it's a time of, like, right before, or maybe around the time of, maybe it's before Jesus. I feel like I'm floating.
Very good. Keep that relaxation. That's very good. You do a good job. Just go forward in time and the man is back. You can leave that scene and just go forward in time and the man is back at his place. Now, you are now there. He's back. You can see him coming back. Tell him that we're still here.
He knows.
We are curious why he has to leave. What did he do?
They needed some answers. There was something going wrong with the large, I don't want to say palace because it's not a palace, but there is something.
A place, a bigger building?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And what exactly did he have to help?
See camels.
Go feel for a second being outside. Yes. Have a look outside. What do you see? Warm, cold, dry, humid.
There's like a well with some water, but it's not a well, it's like round and big.
Mm-hmm.
There's kids running around with just like a piece of cloth over their bottom areas.
Mm.
It's such a loving community.
Okay.
Everybody's so happy.
Very good.
I mean, it's like everybody is hugging each other and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of love here.
Very good. Would you like to explore more of the outside, or could you go back to the man? Save time and energy.
Well, he's outside.
Okay. Why?
He's just happy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to do a little bit of, goes somewhere where there's some shade.
Okay. Ask him if he wants us to follow him.
Well, he's already there.
Okay.
He's like, watch what I do.
Can he see you?
He can hear me.
Okay. Ask him if he saw you with that woman in the cave when he was there.
Yes.
Okay.
He said he put me there. He visualized what I look like, and he created me.
Okay.
This is weird.
Very good. Does he know how I look like?
Yes, but he says it's harder to see.
Give him a mental picture of me.
Mm-hmm.
A very clear picture of me when we are together.
He says you look like his brother, but with different colored hair.
Yeah, good. He's funny. Very good. You're very happy to meet him. Tell
And
him
without facial hair.
Mm-hmm. Tell him you're happy to meet him.
He bows.
We bow too. Ask him what he thinks while we met him, because we were going on a mind travel to discover, and we met him. Ask him what he thinks about that, why that is happening.
He knew it was coming, he just didn't know when. And he said because of this, there will be changes.
For whom and where?
In his life.
Ask him what kind of changes he's anticipating.
Because he's hoping that we can talk with him.
Mm-hmm. Does he wish to talk more with us?
Yes.
In what regard will that help him?
It'll help him with what he has the abilities to do. But he can only say so much, and there's only a few people he trusts.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could crucify him.
Okay, so he could get in trouble.
Yes.
So what can we do to make sure that nothing is going to happen to him?
He will make sure.
Okay. Very good.
He's sitting down and he's facing.
Very good. You do a very good job. Connect more with him now. Connect more.
There's like from a distance, I think I just was sidetracked because I saw this like straw large bowl thing, and this guy is playing like a flute, and there's like something coming out of the bowl while he plays.
Okay, but it looks like a very loving and comfortable environment.
Everywhere. Yeah, it's just weird seeing that. Something like I've seen in a movie or something.
Well, go back to him, focus on him, and ask him if you could ask some questions. Ask him if he could explain where he is, where he lives.
It's a small village. It's weird because I feel like I'm in two different times. I feel like I'm in the time of Jesus, but also in the time of the Egyptians. It's like I can see pyramids from the distance from where I'm at.
Maybe he is close to the pyramids.
Well, that's what he was facing.
Okay, tell him to help you focus better on just him and his time.
The pyramids are pretty big because it's a long ways away, kind of.
Well, ask him if his village is close to the pyramids so we can see them.
It's not completely close, but you can see them.
Ask him if there is a river close.
Yeah, it's like a Nile or something, like a Nile. Tell
him if he has the village on the same side like the pyramids on the other side of the river.
I feel like it's on the other side.
Okay. Tell him to show where north and south is. From where you stand and you look, when you look at the pyramids from your standpoint of view, is north to the right or to the left?
If I look at the pyramids from where I'm standing?
Yes, where he is and you are.
To the left. I just see him pointing that way.
Tell him to point to the river.
The river? The river's straight. It goes, it's very close, it seems.
Ask him if there's a bigger town close to the pyramids.
Oh, yes.
What town is it? Do you want to know the name of that town? So we have reference.
I think it starts with a K.
I want you now to float up into the air about 1 mile, just up, like to the clouds. And while you go up there, you see still down there the village and the man, you see the river, the pyramids. And I want you to see where that town is in your point of view when you go up there.
It's not that far away.
No. Can you see the pyramids down there? Can you see the river? Can you see the village?
Yes.
Okay, when you have the river, like going from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, on what side are the pyramids?
If the river was going 12 to 6?
Yes, like on a line upwards.
The pyramids are to the left.
The village is where?
The village is to the right.
Okay, and the big town is at towards 12 o'clock or towards 6 o'clock?
I'm towards 6 o'clock.
And the town would be?
The big town or the small town?
The big town with K.
Is almost on the same side of me, but it's closest to it.
Could you draw it?
I can put a picture in my head.
Can you see the pyramids? Imagine the pyramids being in the middle of a clock.
Yeah.
Is that big town towards 12 or 6?
My town is at 6.
The village of the Of the man?
Yeah.
And the big tone with K?
Is 1 or 2, maybe, if it was on a clock.
Okay, very good. But you can go down, float down, and while you're floating down, feel more and more relaxed, and your body becomes more and more numb. It becomes numb, even number. You feel your body become completely numb now, and all that exists is just a point of consciousness. And you focus in on this man. You make a complete visual and feeling, and you tell him you're back, you just had to observe something. Ask him what age he has, if he knows what age he has.
I don't think he understands that.
How many cycles of Earth going from one summer to the other summer?
Probably like 30.
Okay. So
Maybe not even that.
He's not that old.
Well, he has a lot of facial hair. It makes him look old.
Okay. Ask him what his purpose is in his lifetime there.
It's what we would call a psychic.
Okay. Ask him if he's using his abilities.
Yes.
How?
He sits down and burns something, and he has like a chalk, or it's not chalk, but it's black. It's like, it looks like a piece of chalk.
And he does what with that?
And he writes. And he drinks wine.
Okay. Well, that's good. Good to know wine is healthy.
I don't know if it's wine, but it could be something else.
Okay. Well, you can ask him.
I don't know. I don't know if it's from grapes.
That's okay. It's not that important. Okay. So ask him again. He would like to have more information about that. Why he thinks that it is so important that we are meeting in our minds.
Because he wants to talk about things that are going on there. And he wants to hear what's going on here.
But ask him what he wants to know. What's his first question?
He wants to know how is it like there where it's lots of love, where we're at.
Can you imagine a world map in your mind with all the continents?
I can do the best that I can do.
Give him that mental picture of the world map. Tell him where the pyramids are on that map. You know where that is, Heidi. You see Africa, to the right of it, the Red Sea, and to the top of it, to the Mediterranean Sea, is Cairo with the big pyramids. That's where he is. That's where he is roughly located. So now you can show him Africa. Go in your mind to the continent of Africa, then to the north, show him Europe.
Yeah.
And then show him going towards west over the big Atlantic Ocean. And show him from farthest North America and South America connected with Middle America. And then you can tell him in the mind that we are somewhere in the middle of North America now, talking to him. That's where we are at. And then tell him and ask him first.
He seems a little puzzled.
Yes, ask him if he thinks the earth is flat or a ball. What does he know about that?
I'm trying to show him what a ball is.
Show him the earth as a planet, that we now know that's a planet. It's a ball floating in space.
He wants to know how you know that.
Tell him that we were able to build technology to leave Earth, and we are able to go out in space where the stars are.
He said, how do you know for sure this is true?
Tell him that we have a lot of people going up there and making photos and videos with technology to capture images.
Yeah, he knows.
What's going on?
He says, be careful what you say.
Why I have to be careful? Tell me why.
He wants to know how you know this is true.
You can tell him that we are in a time now that we have a lot of deception and untruth. You can give him a number, 2018, about 2000 years after the time of he maybe is in.
I feel like it's before Christ.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's why
but
I
it's
say
in development now. He says it's in development. And the information, he saw this happening. He had a vision of him walking through the underground tunnel that leads to kind of a secret tunnel. And he had this vision. He was walking down the rocks. They look like stairs, and you could hear your voice. This was maybe a while ago. He said if you probably maybe, I guess if you put it in years, about a year and a half ago.
What exactly does he mean by that? Let him elaborate on that.
I don't know. He just said, he said that he had a vision. He saw it. He saw himself going down the tunnel. He was holding like some fire because it's dark down there and cold. And he heard two voices.
Our voices?
Yes.
And that's what happened today?
I don't know about the time. Because we are outside.
Ask him again why we have to be careful about the information. Why is he concerned?
Because he said sometimes you don't know what's true.
Well, you can tell him that's exactly true. That's what we have in this time. There's a lot of untruth and very much deception, and we are working to get more to the truth. You can tell him that there are a lot of powerful beings, humans and non-humans, that are having influence on the planet, on the humans.
He wants to know how you know that.
Give him a mental picture of me. I give him the permission to feel me. Why I know that. Can you tell me what's going on, Heidi?
He's just trying to understand who you are.
Ask him what he's trying to understand. Ask him if he can feel me and what he thinks, what he feels.
He wants to know if you know what goes on there right now.
I try to learn more what's going on because, like I said, there's a lot of deception.
That's what he said.
He
wants to know how you know all this information.
I was learning all my life. I was reading books, listening to people that were truthful. I'm trying to make my own mind. And we are working with the mind to go to the truth as good as we can.
And he said, now they accept it. He said they accept it there.
I don't understand this question.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yes, ask him to rephrase his question.
He's talking to you, but people are looking at him, so he's walking away. They kind of think he's a little weird. Just now he has like something over his head, and he's sitting by the water.
Okay.
And he wants to know, is it accepted? As it is there, it's starting to become not as accepted.
You mean what we do as work, for example?
No.
Or the knowledge?
About other life forms.
Well, you can tell him that we are in a tremendous awakening period and that something big is going to happen. That's what we feel. There are many that are waking up or have been waking up and are working fearlessly to help raise the vibration.
He's starting to get a little anxious. Almost like he says he has no fear. But when he sees what you're saying, he says you have no idea.
Tell him to enlighten me.
Says there's going to be a time of tremendous suffering, he says.
Tell him that's what we are anticipating. We are already in those times. The suffering has begun. We had the last 100 years, very big suffering, and it's still ongoing. That's why we have to break out of that suffering now, and we are working very hard on that.
He's talking about how things will start to show. There will be lots of confusion. And he feels heat going through his body, he says.
Ask him if you can do something to help him protect.
He's protected. He's just trying to explain through his feelings.
Tell him that we are humans, but we are not from this place. We came here to help.
Well, he said that's why we've been connected.
Ask him what he knows about himself.
He knows that was born here, but never knew who his parents were, he said. He was an orphan.
Well, ask him if he has used his psychic abilities to figure out from where he came from, because before he came into this body that he has now.
Yes, but there's some things that have been shielded, he said. And this is for his knowledge.
Okay, so it's not too time for him to know?
Well, he was hoping maybe we could help him.
Ask him if he understands what we said, that we are now human, but we are not from this place, that we came here to help for the earth to go through the shift.
He's looking up in the sky now, and it's like there's an eclipse or something. It's becoming dark in the middle of day.
Is it a solar eclipse? Ask him.
It happens once in a while when things need to be shown. But it's controlled somehow. It becomes dark.
Tell him, or ask him if he knows what's going on, this darkening of the sun.
Something to do with aligning.
It's the sun and the earth, and between it's the moon that fits over the sun and makes the shadow.
It's done now.
What is done?
It's light again.
Okay. Tell him if that had an importance for him.
He said when it does that, there's always something that is going to take place. Sometimes it can be almost chaotic, he said.
That is true, yeah. That's what we have recognized as well. Ask him what he wants to know now.
He wants to know who helps us here. I don't know the name of them, but he wants to know if do we have help?
Well, if I understand his question right, you can tell him that we are many like us. There are many like us around the world, working hard in different abilities. And then we have helpers from the other side.
I'm asking if he can see where we're at right now. It's so different, he says. It's just understand some things. But what's weird is he can actually see what's around us.
Okay. Well, it's because you can project that to him. You can tell him that we are having a device, a technology that helps us to record what we are doing. It helps us to have pictures and the spoken word recorded, so we can later look at it and listen to it again.
Yeah, he says this is incredible because he's seen this but didn't understand. He's very excited.
And you can tell him we can use that as well to help him, that he could talk about things he wants to talk, and we can share that with other people by those means.
He said that when he does this, it takes a lot of energy from him.
Yeah. Ask him if he is too tired to go on. We accept that. We know it takes a lot of energy for the both of you.
He wants to know, is there anything else that you would like to talk about?
Like I said, I would like to know if he wants to have a word here in our time. We can share that with other people, knowledge or abilities that he has.
He would like to know more. He's looking at his toes. He says he needs to soak in like a milk bath or something.
Very good.
It's weird.
Ask him, concentrate, go back, concentrate.
I know, I'm just watching what he's doing.
Ask him if he wants to talk later again with us.
He says it's getting late.
Yes. If he could come back and talk to him in a later moment.
He says yes.
Well, then ask him how we can connect to him. How can we connect and find him again? Because it was the first time and it was by accident, somehow.
He says it's not that hard. Just call my name.
Yes. How and where, what space? Because we need a reference to locate him.
He said, go down where I'm at. Go straight ahead. Walk about 20 steps. And you'll see a rock. It's kind of a thin rock. You can actually move it and go under and go down the stairs where you found him.
And call his name?
Yes, but I'm not getting anything else, really.
Okay. Well, then tell him that we are pleased to have met him, that we now are going to let him go for his own business, for a nice recovery and a nice glass of wine or whatever it is, and that we are pleased to meet him anytime soon again and to talk.
He's saying that may the peace and presence of this time be with you, and the acknowledgement is more than most respect, as this is a huge awakening in his existence.
Wonderful. Then let him know we bow in front of him. Say thank you and goodbye.
And he's putting his finger on my